Road to camp, day 3. What coaches are really watching for. Welcome to JV Matters. I'm Coach. This isn't just about football, it's about building young men. Every practice, every challenge, every lesson is an opportunity to develop character, leadership, and purpose. Whether you're a coach, player, or parent, I'm glad you're here. So let's get started. Today's leadership thought is this: the player who stands out aren't always the fastest. They aren't always the biggest. They aren't always the strongest. But more often than not, the player coaches remember are the ones who consistently do the little things right. Those are the players who earn the coach's trust. What coaches are really watching for are this. As we get closer to camp, I want to let you in on a little secret. Players often think coaches spend all day looking for the fastest player, or the strongest player, or the player who makes the highlight reels. Yes, those are important and those do get our attention, but they aren't the first things we're looking for. We're looking for something much deeper, something that's going to stand out a little bit more, stand out a little bit longer. We're watching for your attitude. How do you respond when a coach corrects you? Do you get frustrated? Do you make excuses? Or do you listen, learn, and try again and hit that next rep? Do you grow? Because during camp, you're going to get frustrated. You're going to make mistakes. But the question is this: how do you respond from them? Did you learn from them? Are you growing? Vince Lombardi stated, the greatest accomplishment is not never failing or falling, but in rising after you fall. That is a very true statement in growth as well. Are you growing? If not, you need to see why. A player who is willing to be coached will almost always improve faster than one who thinks he already knows everything. There is not a player playing the game of football who knows everything. If he did, he wouldn't go to practice. He wouldn't attend practices. Every coach is out there still learning too as well. One thing I tell my players and my coaches is this: you need to have that, you need to be like a sponge. You need to soak up everything you can. Constantly learning. Coaches are learning. Players need to learn too. We're watching your effort. Do you sprint between drills? We have agility drills every practice or all the time. And we have stations. Coaches are watching to see who is sprinting in between those stations. Some are and some are not. The ones who are, coaches can count on those. The ones who are not, coaches may not be able to count on those players. Do you finish every rep? Do you compete when you're tired? You have to learn to compete when you're tired. Many games come down to the fourth quarter. That's when players are tired. Anyone can give great effort when they're fresh. Character shows up when you're tired and exhausted. Fourth quarter, games come down to that quarter. We're watching how you treat your teammates. Do you encourage players standing next to you? Do you help someone when they're struggling? Or are you only focused on yourself? Do you help the player who is competing in your same position for you that you're competing in? Think about that question for a minute. Are you helping the player competing in the same position that you're trying for? Think about that. What happens if you get hurt? Who goes in for you? Remember, football is a team sport and not an individual sport. Championship teams are built by players who make everyone around them better. Michael Jordan made everyone around him better. That's why his teams were good. That's why his teams were great. We're watching how you handle adversity. Every player is going to have a bad rep. Every player is going to make mistakes. Trust me, you will make mistakes, especially at camp. What happens or what matters is how you make or how you handle the next play. What happens after you make that mistake? Do you let that mistake define the rest of your day? Do you let that mistake define the rest of camp, the rest of the game, the rest of practice? Or do you line up for the next play with confidence and determination? Here's something players don't always realize. Coaches notice the little things. We notice who picked up a teammate after a tough drill. We notice who says, "Yes, coach." We notice who always argues with the coaches. We notice who carries equipment without being asked, puts things away, who volunteers. We notice who is early instead of just on time. Those actions tell us who we can trust. And trust earned long before Friday night. Football camp is one of those few places where leadership reveals itself quickly. Not because you're wearing a captain's patch or we put you in charge as a captain, but because leadership is shown through actions. It's shown in consistency. It's shown in humility. It's shown in service. Those are the qualities every coach hopes to find. That's what we're looking for in camp. So if you're heading to camp, don't spend your energy trying to impress everyone. Spend your energy becoming dependable. Become a teammate coaches can count on. Become a player your teammates want beside them when things get difficult, when things get rough, when they're in the fourth quarter and they need somebody they can count on. Those qualities will carry much further than talent alone. I've mentioned that before in the past. Talent can only take you so far. Attitude and trust will take you the rest of the way. So here's my final thought. When camp begins, every player has an opportunity to make an impression. The question is, what kind of impression will you make? Will coaches remember your speed, or will coaches remember your character? Because long after camp is over, character is what people continue to notice. Tomorrow, we're going to wrap up our Road to Camp series by talking about the one thing every successful team has in common and why football is where the foundation begins. Thank you for watching JV Matters. If you believe football is about developing character as much as developing athletes, please like and share this video and subscribe. With a coach, parent, or player who's committed to building better young men through the game of football. Until next time, keep leading, keep servicing, and never forget, JV matters because it's never been just about football. You all have an outstanding day, and I'll catch you all on the next episode of JV Matters.